Hey folks, my name is Patdees. Welcome to my channel, The Traveling Picker. I wanted to make this video real quick talking about, as you can see in the background, I got some toys. I'm actually in my living room and the Christmas tree is up. We did a whatnot on Thanksgiving and we did two on Saturday and one on Sunday. So that's what I'm going to talk about today because I lost money on shipping on my Thanksgiving show. So I lost money, and that's why I titled The Science of Whatnot. And it's the shipping. And the shipping is tough to figure out. And so that's what we're going to get into today. I'm making this video because I tell you, if you're new to Whatnot, maybe this can help you, give you a little pointers, give you a little tip. And I don't know. Sometimes I don't see these videos out there. So I said, well, what the heck? Let's get into it. And we'll be right back. Okay guys, welcome back. So I've been selling on Whatnot for basically the past year. I've just recently increased selling more on there, trying to figure it out. I know last year I started around October, November, and was kind of disappointed in doing it because you got to build up some sort of following. People will tell you don't need a following on social media. Yeah, that's true. There's not everybody does YouTube and does TikTok or doesn't have that social media following and are quite successful and whatnot. But there's something that they did to build up their following. Do I know? No. What I'm going to talk about today is a couple little pointers and my experience selling on Whatnot as far as dealing with the shipping. As we know, I sell, let me give you a little background. Right now, like this past week, I sold on 4 platforms. I sold on eBay, I sold on YouTube, I sold on Amazon, and I sold on Whatnot. And surprisingly so, eBay was actually my busiest platform. Something I sold this week was a very seasonal item and did tremendous with it this week. I bought that pallet actually in January, so I sat on it basically 10, 11 months to sell some of that stuff. YouTube was just a minor show, but did okay. Part of what I do this time of the year is with YouTube is I pretty much whatever I sell on there, I donate for toys, for tots. And so I've done several shows the past month with YouTube and a little bit of Instagram post. I did an Instagram post and I sold a box of toys for $100 like 2 weeks ago. So I do donate about $1,500, $2,000 worth of toys. And we will be, if you look back through my videos, you'll see. And again, I'm giving you a little bit of background, not really trying to talk about that, but I just want to mention that in case you're wondering. Amazon's actually been on a steady decline down for me just because of the availability to get stuff and availability to sell stuff and stay competitive. eBay has been much better this year for me only because I've been listing more. I've taken a little bit of break on listing due to health issues, but I also, but now the past month, 6 weeks, I've kind of come back into even trying to push Whatnot because I see the opportunity on there. I now have over, I think it's 1,200 followers. And especially over the last 6 weeks, I've built that up. And you got to be willing to give away stuff. You got to be willing to spend a little bit of money. And I'm promoting the show a little bit. I spent $12 on Thanksgiving to promote my show, $6 an hour, 12. I figured, you know what, who cares? It worked. On Thursday, I didn't want to go live Friday because of everyone's touting that zero commission. If you're, let's say you're a big seller and you sell 4,000, you would have saved about $320 with zero commission. So if you're a small seller, you're, let's say for example, you sell $400, you're only going to save about $32. And it's tough to sell $400 worth of stuff. So I did over $700, but I sold 130 items. So do the math. I tried to do toys at $3, $5, and $10. So my average was only $5.50. And after the show was done, I was excited. Don't get me wrong. I did 700. I think it was 707. and I had 130 items sold, and and with two people buying 25 items each. And of course, I was excited because when you sell more, you're building it up and stuff like that. But I should have been better organized, better prepared for it, and we had to kind of sort through the stuff. But I had some sticker shock because, man, you need to be a scientist to figure out the shipping. And it cost me $72. You get 5 adjustments. And when I felt there was an adjustment, I tried to be like, okay, wait a minute. Can we do something here? And what I had to do is actually ship some stuff because their adjustment. So what I did is I had the 5 adjustments. Were small, dollar here, dollar there. And there were a couple things that if I made the box a certain size, because that's where it runs it. If you pay attention, basically what they're trying to do is for $8.35, you can get basically 4 or 5 pounds in a 12 by 12 by 12 box. But when you start getting into toys, and I don't know if I have any large toys. Denise, can you hand me that one big gun over there? You start getting into large toys, or on the fly, you start basically you're like, okay, people aren't interested in something, and you want to add to it. You're trying to make a bundle. But when you're bundling something extra, let's say, for example, you got a toy in there for $5 and you have it at 10 ounces. When you're adding that extra, now you're going into 1.5 pounds. And if you do that enough times and people get those items, then you're going to run into that issue exactly where someone might have paid, for example, 21 ounces worth of shipping, and all of a sudden it's 47 ounces. So that's where it comes into play. You know how we said we didn't need algebra when we were in school? Okay, maybe this is not algebra, but yeah, math. So, like, for example, here's a nice item. This is a $20 toy gun. Even if I sold this for $10, if they only get this with that $8.35 deal, they'll let me ship this, even though it's 12. It's not that 12 by 12 by 12. I figured it out. Basically, it would cost $8.35. So if someone buys this for 10, $8.35, 18. You're still getting it roughly for $2 cheaper than if you went to the store. But sometimes people don't value, and this is more meant for the people that are going to sell. There's this perception that sometimes people don't value the shipping or value the convenience of coming to their house because they assume that everything is supposed to be free shipping, or they want such a discount on shipping, even though they don't some people need to factor in, look, if I had to go out to drive to the store, gas at $3.75 to $4 a gallon, you would pay that extra to drive to the store anyways. So when you kind of factor that in, and with me not selling this at full price, selling it at a discount, you're still getting a good deal, and you're not paying more, and you're supporting a small seller. Again, I'm saying this stuff so that this video really meant for people that want to be whatnot sellers, or want what to look out for, what to watch out for. If you're selling jewelry, or I'm going to say example like Disney pins, small stuff that weighs 4 ounces, that if somebody gets 3 Disney pins or 3 little jewelry pieces, and it's not going to make much of a difference if it gets skewed by 2 ounces, that's not going to matter. If the shipping is going to be 4, I on my thumbnails on whatnot, that buy more, save more, because a lot of times shipping is, and that's how it is really across a lot of platforms as far as when it comes to, they don't call it first class no more. They call it the UPS Ground Advantage. It's the advantage. And that's just a fancier term, I guess, for the post office to compete with UPS. But, you could ship 2-3 items for almost the cost of one item. It might start out at $3.81, and really when you go to that next level, it's $4.81, and maybe top out at $6, somewhere in that range. Now, what I wish for is that Whatnot would maybe, and I haven't seen it yet, I could be wrong, people that are selling a lot on there, is maybe do something with UPS because the perfect example for me was there was a couple California customers that I ran into, and I see that a lot, especially with eBay and Amazon. If a customer gets a box, for example, let's say a 16 by 16 by 12, That box to ship U.S. Postal Service could be $60, but to ship that UPS or FedEx could be $35. Um, that's a big difference. And that could be the difference if I, for example, let's say paid $7 and I made $3 on this item, you're going to lose money. So there were 5 situations. What I had to do is there were a couple customers where I had to mail multiple boxes, and I had to go into my PayPal and ship the box to get because there was no way around it. Even if I tried to unbundle, the customer only paid. Like there was that one customer where they made only paid $17, but the shipping was $35. So luckily for me, those 2 customers did buy a certain amount of stuff that, yeah, okay. Look, at 707, my net earnings were, it said something like 541. That didn't factor in the extra $72. So 541 was the fee, the 8% for whatnot, and the 2.9 and the 30 cents per transaction. So, basically that's where that came out to. So now with that 541, this is where I get in talking about the science or the algebra. I had to deduct $72 because there was a couple of little adjustments that I paid, that the package was a little bit bigger and it was cheaper for me to pay whatnot, the $285 adjustment, then instead of put something in another box and pay another $8 to ship that item to the customer using UPS or PayPal. But there were 5 packages that, 5 packages that cost me close to, so basically I had $52 in outside packages through PayPal. And, if someone says I didn't get it, I have the proof because I'll have the tracking number. And usually what I do is I send a note, hey, and I told people on the live, hey, you might get several packages. A lot of times the buyer's not going to know, well, who's using what. They don't even fully understand. All they care about is that they get a good deal and they're not getting overcharged for shipping. And that's where that sometimes is where you lose a sale, because some people don't understand that shipping is expensive. You got to keep in mind, though, if you're getting a good deal on an item, that you have to account for that. So there was like 52, and there was about $18-20 in adjustments to whatnot that I had to pay additional. It made sense to pay the additional $2 or $3 because, again, it would have cost $7 to $10. So on Saturday, I did a show, and I didn't do no $3 starts. I did $5 and $10 starts. Those 2 shows didn't do as well, but I had no adjustments when it came to shipping because I figured it out. I had figured it out that basically the $8.35 covered up the 4 or 5 pounds. And so if a customer got, and I kept in my head, if they got a certain amount, that it basically, so for every basically 4 or 5 pounds, it was $8.35. And if they were going to get another big item, they were going to pay another $8.35. So it would have been $16.70. Where I messed up was bundling some things, not kind of thinking about all that, and I didn't account for that. So if you guys are going to join whatnot, if you're going to do it, think about the shipping. I know when I started Amazon, and that's where a lot of people fail with doing as a reseller, understanding the shipping. If you guys got any questions or comments below, now what I'm talking about, if you got small things easy to ship, same size all the time, comic books, certain things like that, you're fine. It's when you start getting into storage unit items, you start getting into, me doing different size toy items. If you're doing cards, but if you're going to start selling, for example, maybe you come across an estate or you got stuff in your house that you want to clear out, figure out the shipping and don't do a large show. And then be to the point where you could, for example, do $400 or $500 and have $200 because, look, I'm selling toys. There are people that sell ceramics, potteries, glassware, stuff that is very, very heavy. You could wind up losing money. One more thing I want to focus on before I go. They say, well, Pat, how do those people do it when they do the dollar? They're not selling for $1. the dollar start bid is a gimmick, because I've sold some things for $1, and if nobody else bids for $1, I'm pretty much netting 55 cents, because they take the 8%, they take the 2.5, 9%, and they take the 30 cents. $1 is a gimmick. Like, oh my God, people in their mind think I'm going to get something for $1. They're never getting it really for $1 if they have a great following. It starts out $1, it becomes an auction, and 99% of the time, that item, if you're a popular channel, even sells more than what people will pay. Just like some people will say, oh, we offer free shipping. So, and this is what I want to touch on too. Well, Pat? How can they do free shipping? They're doing free shipping because also they have a following that they can, if the item would sell for 10, but they're getting 22, what does it matter? It doesn't matter if you're getting extra money. If you're getting a premium on the stuff that you're selling and you're paying a little bit of the shipping, it's sort of like on Amazon. You get a little bit more of a premium selling on Amazon than you do eBay. So if you sell it a little bit more, because like when I do things on Amazon, the shipping's included. That's just how it's done. Instead of making separate templates, you know that. If you're starting out, I wouldn't be offering free shipping. Is okay on pins and baseball cards, stuff that's $4. So if you're selling cards that for $100, who cares if you're giving $4 in free shipping? If one person buys $100 worth of stuff that's 5 items that fit in a 12, and you're giving $8 worth of again, it's part of the gimmick of selling and rewarding. And last but not least, don't compare yourself to other large YouTubers, large resellers on whatnot. You are not them. There's a lot of incentive for them to bring people in. They are partnering with Whatnot to build up that platform. I don't blame Whatnot. It's cheaper by doing that because they can give them a discount instead of putting money out and saying, oh, I don't know if this will work or not. When you advertise on Google or do commercials, it's very expensive and you don't know what results you're going to get. If somebody is successful social media or YouTuber goes on there and, like, for example, let's say they sell $50,000 in 1 month and the commission would be $4,000. If they give them $1,000 back, they're still $3,000 ahead. And it's an incentive to get those people, to get more people to buy, to get more. That's smart business on both parts. So, all right, guys, I hope you liked the video. I've been doing more videos. I've been doing palette videos, but I wanted to make this basically Whatnot educational. And you don't need a science degree, but you got to think about these things. And I think I've tackled it now and figured it out. The last 3 Whatnots that I've done this weekend, 2 on Saturday, 1 today, Sunday, when I recorded this, I didn't have no extra charges, and I wasn't as busy. And don't do Whatnot to lose money. Do Whatnot to make money. In the beginning, you might have to give out stuff and do giveaways. And I don't mind doing giveaways. I'm doing more customer appreciation giveaways because that don't cost you no extra shipping. Just throw the item in the box. And but you got to be willing to do that to start out. You make a budget. You set a budget for that. So, guys, comment in chat if you sell on Whatnot. If you got any questions, message me. And I do appreciate your support. In the description, if you don't know nothing about Whatnot and you want to sign up, I've had some people sign up this past week. They got $10 free credit towards their first purchase on my channel. And check it out and give me a thumbs up. I'll see you again. Bye.